Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 27th, it's June, it's 2025, and 4th of July is coming upon us very quickly. And I got to tell you, everything is in place for this to go really wrong. And I need you to really understand this. I don't care about people's preps, I don't care about people's finances. I'm talking about your spirit and your mental readiness. Be prepared for something horrible to happen. And I hate to be the one to say it. And you know what? Hopefully, because I'm putting it out there, it won't happen. But I don't see that coming. And there are so many reasons that America should be attacked because of what our politicians have put us into. We've got people in America that want to attack America. We have people from other countries that want to attack. And we have so many people that they can blame on. And we know they want to bring us to our knees again, like on 9/11. Except this time, if it happens, don't buy it. Don't believe it. Don't do anything they say. Do not consent to any of this. Any of this. At any rate, look at this.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Just 4 days. Left 4 days. And who I am, that's not your business. You only need to keep in your mind what's gonna happen in 4 days.
So this dude has been posting on TikTok, and this has gone all over the internet. He's doing a countdown, and he's saying that in 4 days, something horrible is going to happen. He appears to be of Israeli descent, if I had to guess, judging by the nose and the accent. But this is the kind of stuff we're dealing with right now. Is this a psyop? It's hard to tell. You see what I'm saying? It's very tough to tell. But it falls exactly in line with the 4th of July, like I was kind of thinking. You know what I mean? It's crazy. But be ready. And speaking of the Israelis, the Department of Homeland Security of the United States of America just awarded $94 million in grants to help protect 512 Jewish faith-based organizations from targeted violence and terrorism. Yeah, $94 million to stop anti-Semitism because it's just so bad in this world. You know what I mean? They don't deserve it. It doesn't come to them honestly. None of that stuff. Meanwhile, you've got homeless veterans in the United States that could actually use that money and don't get it. So what's really going on here?
The best way is to transfer them to Europe. Europe already accepted, past the 10 years, accepted more than 100 million refugees. I don't think that another 1.5 million refugees would make any difference for the Europeans. And as the Bible says, this place is for us, it's promised for us, so they can starve to death to pay on the things that they've done to us on the 7th of October.
Would you live in
The world is standing by watching the largest genocide of human people ever. This is an actual Holocaust. And what you're watching right now is Israel completely ignoring the ceasefire, the peace treaty, etc. You know what I'm saying? All Trump does is say words to keep people placated, and Israel continues to do what Israel does, period, no matter what. They're even getting money from us so that we can't say anything about them. Beautiful. And then you simply add to that the Islam Times has put out a thing saying that Israel has been planning a false flag operation on U.S. soil. Well, here's the deal. If they were going to do it, we wouldn't know till afterwards. Or maybe they've just come to the conclusion that Americans are so stupid, distracted, and do not care about what is real. They are putting it right out there because a false flag attack is coming no matter what. It has to. They're doing Agenda 2030. They're doing the Great Reset. They're moving all the chess pieces. We need to have a really big boom in the United States, maybe more than just one of them. And speaking of booms in the United States, did we just get hit with the rod of God? What am I talking about? You probably already know. Florida, North Carolina, and Georgia, that's where all three of these video pieces are from, had this item come straight down from outer space and hit the ground, and they said it felt like an earthquake. An earthquake. To me, that appears to be some sort of a kinetic energy weapon or the rod of God. The weapon the Air Force came up with that I showed you years ago. You see this? It's really strange that the illustration they show looks exactly what we just saw in real life. Do you see what I'm saying? And I say that biblical cosmology is important because you need to understand that this isn't a meteor. This isn't space debris, okay? Everything is inside an enclosed system. That thing coming down looks exactly like their illustration. It's coming straight down, and everyone thought they felt an earthquake. They're trying. They're setting it up. They're getting things going. They're testing. We've never seen them use one of these in the United States, or we've never even heard a claim of them using them in real life, but we don't know. We don't know. They could have just dropped them on Iran the other day. We don't know. And we don't even know if that happened. But we do know that this happened. Everybody saw this, and it felt like an earthquake. Is exactly what a kinetic energy weapon, a massive tungsten rod dropped from low Earth orbit straight under the firmament onto Earth. Boom. They drop a bunch of these, and there's going to be problems. And it looks like they're testing right now.
Caught on camera in Pembroke, this mysterious sight in the sky is creating lots of confusion. The woman behind the camera says she could not believe her eyes when she saw it overhead. Even first responders in the area are unsure about the flying flash. 7's Stephen Quinn has the story in Pembroke.
A Pembroke girl looking up Wednesday night to see an unexpected sight.
So I was just chilling in my hot tub. I look up in the sky to see like something like tiny, like floating. I'm like, what is that?
It's why she decided to take out her phone and zoom in on what she was seeing.
It just like had a weird shape. Like it looked like an upside down bottle. It looked like a weird canister type of like thing.
She tells me she's not sure what it was.
It was really quiet. You can't really like hear anything. That's why I was just like more confused, because when stuff fly over in the sky all the time here, you hear it.
I asked if it could be a drone. Possible, she says, while noting the way the object moved in one direction. We asked the fire department. They said they don't have any report of something like that falling from the sky. The young woman tells me this whole thing has her doing one thing a lot more: looking up.
Well, that's in my neck of the woods, and I couldn't help but notice that the object looked just like one of these, which would be the rod of God, maybe making its path back from down south. I don't know, but I mean, it looks very similar. I found it strange that it had flashing lights on it, just like a commercial airplane, but it had a large thing hanging below it, like the rod of God. And with everything going on, people keep saying, what about the alien invasion? Well, they haven't given up on that at all. Not that will play a huge part because, well, this.
Mysterious flying object shaped like a disc, caught on military camera and now confirmed by the Pentagon.
Before we move on, I want to show you this new footage. This is real footage recorded from the military, sparking serious buzz about UFOs. Investigative journalists 𝗲𝗵𝗿𝗏 and George Knapp obtained and released military filmed footage. You're going to look at this disc in the sky. Just keep your eyes on that screen. UAP, which is an unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Going across.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
See it right there? So this footage was captured over the Afghanistan-Pakistan border back in November of 2020. See it? What is that? What is that?
Knapp is really, I mean, at the forefront of this. I will say, I do not buy the UFO sightings in Michigan, though. 3,000 plus sightings in Michigan. Show me one.
Over time.
I know, but over time, there have been televisions, there have been recordings, there are cell phones. Like, show me.
So this thing right here looks exactly like something you would use to block out the sun. Am I wrong? I mean, that's exactly, looks like their eclipse machine or whatever. But the fact that UFOs are back in the news again, and, you know, of course, it's civilians that somehow get hold of this film and release it to the media with the Pentagon's approval. And take note of the time, 9:12 a.m. You see what I mean? That's 666 if you do the math correctly, but I'm just pointing that out because it's always the case. It's always the case. It's always there in the lower left-hand corner. The time always matches up to 666 one way or the other, or 66. I just find that odd, but whatever. They did not forget about the aliens because here we go. You see what I'm saying? Things are going to get unbelievably hectic. You need to get your mental and your spiritual house in order, like today. Today. So this has been making the rounds on the internet, but let me just remind you, see that strange green thing that's shooting across the screen? Well, it's not actually shooting because that is a time lapse from 3:30 to 4:30 or 3:05 to 4:05. That is a time lapse. That is not something moving at real time, okay? So just understand that. Is it strange? It looks strange, but again, that happened over an hour's time. That is not real time whatsoever at all.
What just hit Alabama?
Okay, so I know I'm not going crazy, but look at that. What in the world? Dude.
This is huge. This is a massive story. Record this, download this. This is a potentially dangerous story for me to share, but you need to see this because we need answers. I am happy, healthy, and not prone to accidents, just saying. For context, I do a radar and satellite review show on my website every single day. So when I tell you this is freaking weird, I know what frickin' weird is. As I was reviewing radar data, I spotted an anomaly in Florida. It appears that a wave was emanating from each tower, which was subsequently pushing the cloud cover in precipitation outward. That alone shouldn't happen. The mainstream narrative is that these towers only track systems, but here we have clouds and rain being moved in a perfect circular outward fashion at the exact same speeds near each tower. And look at this area. When the clouds collide in the middle between two separate waves from two separate towers. Then as I looked along the Gulf coastline, this is where things got even more crazy. All the towers along the coastline are doing the exact same thing at the exact same times. Texas, Louisiana. I mean, look at Louisiana. The wave is emanating outward to the point where the clouds and precipitation spreads out equally in all directions and is then eliminated. In fact, even more strange is at every area of precipitation near the towers along the Gulf and Atlantic coastline disappears simultaneously. And that's not even the craziest freaking part. The craziest freaking part is the time code for when these waves occurred, about 1940 UTC. These areas felt seismic activity. The local news reported it as an earthquake at a 3.1 magnitude.
Well, at about 2:41 this afternoon, apparently there was an earthquake out about 10 miles deep in the Gulf, 70 miles south of Gulf shores.
A rare event in this area. You heard me right. The moment we saw these waves around these towers, they reported that there was an earthquake. Here's the thing though. Earthquakes don't impact the atmosphere. It can't move clouds. It certainly wouldn't move clouds in perfect circular waves emitting outward from each and every tower along the entire Gulf coastline up to the Carolinas on the Atlantic coast. And I'm still trying to figure out, is this emanating from the towers themselves? Or is there something working with them in the ocean? So I looked a little further to see what I could find in the cloud cover in the Gulf around the time of the supposed earthquake. And I found this. What is moving these clouds out there like that? What are you guys doing?
So it appears that everybody has picked up on something that I stumbled upon accidentally live in real time when it occurred. Do you remember this video from the other day? Probably has nothing to do with all these Dopplers and NEXRADs that are lighting up this bad, especially up in our area. There aren't very many of them up here. Did you just see that? Did you just see that right down here? See the lasers coming out, lasers coming out, lasers coming out, shooting in all directions. Incredibly dense frequencies right here. And then whatever that green thing was, is that going to come back? I was trying to show you up here, but that really distracted me. There it is. Whatever that just was. So whatever the case may be, they're absolutely using the weather as a weapon. I think everybody should know that by now. It's not like they might be, they could be, they are. They're using that, and they're reintroducing the UFO narrative all over again. This is going to be insane because we're going to get hit from every single solitary side. We've got some crazy anonymous jerk-off on TikTok claiming that he's doing a 5-day countdown, of which we're in the 3rd day right now, or 2nd day. I can't even keep track anymore because it's insane. I've been trying to ready myself to roll out of here, and I keep thinking I don't even know if I'm going to be able to. I would hate to get trapped in Massachusetts because you can't fight back when everybody around you is actually fighting for the propaganda, we'll call it. They're going to buy the story no matter what it is. They'll open the door and say, "Please, FEMA, come in right now." You know what I mean? It's insane. And then, of course, there's this really strange insignia on the Pope's robes, which I just find odd. I mean, think about this, or not. I don't know. Here, look at this. And I know that I'm being hypocritical now that I'm actually using a TikTok clip in my video, but I found this on X, okay? This was sent to me. I was tagged on this on X, so it is what it is. You know what I mean? Sometimes one's hypocrisy knows no bounds. It is what it is. I'm a severely flawed human being. It is what it is. So people are concerned, and they don't understand why SpaceX's rockets look so much different than NASA's rockets. Well, because they're not rockets at all. These guys are trying to break through the firmament, and you can watch them doing it right here. This is not the launch of a spacecraft trying to make its way to Mars, okay? This is men on Earth actively and out in the open trying to break through the firmament, and you can actually see it, okay? You can see it. You can call it what you want, but it's obvious what they're doing. You can see them trying right in front of our faces. And real quick, let me remind you of the time I was down at the Mexican border last year. What was coming through absolutely every place. 1% is bad. That's still an enormous amount of people that could cause damage. And those numbers are only the ones they have on the books. No one has any clue how many people are actually sneaking into the country, to be perfectly honest. Every place that I traveled down here, there wasn't a single person moving that wasn't wearing a badge or a uniform. There were no migrants absolutely any place. And the people in the town of Eagle Pass, everybody that I spoke to, they don't even really know anything's going on. They don't even really, this isn't a thing to them. This is just no big deal.
All I can say is this is bad. This is really, really bad.
As well, I'm going to turn this around. Where are you from? Iran? 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 Okay. Like you can see, there's BP over there on their way to pick up more people. And the situation is developing out here. Be sure to keep it locked. That was a surprise to me. I didn't even know they're from Iran. Be sure to keep it locked. We're going to be broadcasting out here for the rest of the day. You don't want to miss this transmission. Ooh, it's getting ugly out here, guys. See you guys.
So unlike other channels, I actually went to these places. I actually go to all these hotspots. When I saw all those Iranians being detained, I went down to the Mexican border with Texas and Eagle Pass, and they weren't sneaking through the border. at this point because too many people had eyes on this, so they just started flying them in. They paid $300 something million to fly in a bunch of illegals. Why do you think that is? Like I told you then, and I'll tell you now, it was never for quote-unquote votes. It was for a time such as now, where we have mysterious people doing countdowns on the internet, and every single solitary sign is showing us that an event is coming. At any rate, Richie from Boston. For now, I'm out.